What concerns you most about leaving your house to live on a boat?
I think the thing that concerns me the most is the fact that we're leaving our 22-year-old son in charge. Now, we're talking about a man who actually burnt our shed down 2 years ago while he was mucking around with
While he was in it.
While he was mucking around with his motorbike. Took the fuel tank off and then started the motorbike. The carburettor went up in flames, caught the petrol tank alight. He obviously vacated the shed, which was obviously, it wasn't just a normal shed, it was like a motorbike sort of garage type shed sort of thing, you know, summer house type malarkey. Followed by 2 fence panels at the back of the garden going, 5 fence panels down the side of the garden going, which were brand new, that the neighbour had only put in that summer. Plus our patio doors warping, plus various bits of paper, the artificial turf burning, some of that got burnt, all the garden furniture got burnt and all the rest of it. But yeah, we're quite happy to leave him in control of the house for like a year or two or whatever it turns out to be. So yeah, looking forward to that side of things.
I'd say my concern moving forward now for leaving the house to live on a boat. So there's there's 3 of us, but two humans. That one of us doesn't like it as much as the other. We can both not like it, we can both love it. That's fantastic, that works. What happens is if one of us loves it and the other hates it. I don't know. Yeah, that's a huge worry at the moment for me. The fact that I think one of us might love it more than the other, and then what happens? That's all I've got, worry-wise. Well, that and sinking, actually. Your house can't sink. It can flood, but it can't sink. The call I never nearly got. Let me set the scene for this one. So it was the night of Saturday, the 16th of October, 2004. I'd gone to a club in Bexley Heath in Kent, as had Paul. We met for the first time here on this evening. Had a fantastic night, dancing the night away. At the end of the evening, Paul grabs my phone and leaves himself a voice note on his phone saying he's met the lovely Liz, outside with her, make sure you call her. And then we went our separate ways. 2 days, I think it was, after our first meeting, I get a call. It wasn't your usual call. It wasn't a lovely to meet you the other night. When should we meet up? Let's go on a date. No. It started with Paul saying, "Who did you go off with the other night?" What do you mean, who did I go off with? Well, I had a message on my phone saying from some bloke saying he was outside the nightclub with you. Oh dear. That was you? Oh, he goes. Oh. I mean, how drunk was he? So he went, "Oh, I nearly didn't call you back for that. Said I thought you'd gone off with some other guy." After I left, Paul was obviously far too drunk to even recognise his own voice, and the rest is history. So that was October 2004. We got married in June 2007. And as we tell this story, it is July 2023. So that was in answer to Jane and Richard's question of how we met. Ernie, Jess from Narrowboat Luna Betty wants to know what you think of the engine noise.
Well, when Dad gives me a peanut, I'm going to answer. See, the thing about the engine noise is, you know, it's not as bad as you would imagine. I know some other doggies out there would obviously be worried about that side of things. But I actually, on one of our cruises, I actually did fall asleep. I did fall asleep actually above the engine while my daddy was trying to steer. So I'm not bothered about the engine noise at all. Give me another peanut, Dad.
Okay. Thank you, Ernie. Helen, Rory and Alfie the dog ask, what's the one activity or hobby that makes you lose track of time? This is easy for me. All my hobbies. I really lose track of time, and I've got a lot. I do arts, so painting, drawing, photography. The vlogs is a hobby, and I forget time and people when I'm doing them.
I do like me fishing. I think time flies when you're fishing. I play golf as well, not very often. But to be honest with you, the boat's actually sort of really taken over.
Your boat's your hobby then?
The boat's become like a hobby really at the moment. It's like, any spare time and that, it's working on the boat. And I've got to tell you, we start working on the boat like 8 in the morning, and then before you know where you are, it's like 6:30, 7 at night, and you think, where on earth did that time go?
Annette Walsh asks, are you eventually changing the colour of your narrowboat outside?
Yes, over to the artistic designer who's got the ideas of colours in her head. And I just nod in agreement and sort of, go, yeah, whatever, just point me in the right direction with a roller and a brush.
Yeah, we will be changing the colour. We can't do it while we're in the marina. So we're waiting to get out the marina, which is the second week in August. We're actually leaving the marina.
Yep.
So we will be painting it then.
Any ideas on colours at this stage?
Yes, I've got some ideas. I've got 3 colours in my head, as in not 3 options, as in I want a mix of 3 colours. And I want to do something not your typical,
do something
like round your windows, having those boxes and things, the lines that go. I want to do something a bit different. I think it's a case of buying the paints and then work it out. If it doesn't look right, paint over it.
Yeah, look forward to painting the boat about 1 million times in a row before you get happy with it. Yeah, looking forward to it.
But yes.
Yeah, thanks very much, Annette.
Yes, and somebody else asked that as well. So, Joanne Shelby, hopefully I'm saying your name right.
Yeah, well that's how you've written it down.
She asked a similar question to Annette about when are we going to show the inside and the outside of our boat. When it's finished is the answer to that. So, we've nearly finished the inside. Got bathroom still to do that we're in the middle of, as you know. And then I was thinking of doing a rundown video so you see the whole lot from start to finish, like on a speeded up version, just a whole vlog of doing that. And obviously the outside, as I've just answered Annette's, will be done as soon as we're out the marina, sort of weather permitting, August, September time. So probably the end of this year we'll have
the way I see it is probably before Christmas, but I'm not going to commit too much to which Christmas, to be fair. But we just do our best, like we always do.
Andrew Vicky, as in Vicky Walter Vicky.
Oh, yeah.
And Eric, the Australian doodle.
Yeah.
Is there anything you are nervous about on your first narrowboat trip as continuous cruisers? Yeah, I'm nervous about doing a lock. We haven't done one yet.
I'm not worried about doing a lock at all.
So what are you nervous about?
I don't really think I'm nervous. Is the honest answer to that? No, I'm not really nervous about anything. No, I'm not nervous.
I'm a little bit nervous about leaving the security of the marina actually as well.
I'm not nervous about that.
Because at the moment, you know how I slept when we first got the boat? It was terrible, wasn't it? Where I was panicking about everything.
Yeah.
And I've sort of settled down now because of the security of the marina. I don't worry too much about things. And I wonder whether I'm going to go into panic mode again about people on the tow path and security of the boat when we're on the tow path, or whether I won't bother. I don't know. So I'm slightly nervous about that.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. From my point of view, the reason I don't actually feel nervous about it, obviously there's things on my mind, but it's not making me nervous about doing this or anything like that, or our first trip out. But the way I see it, both men and women go out there on their own and do this, what we're planning on, what we're doing. They do it on their own. So if they can do it on their own, then surely we're in a good position to do this together. We've got support for each other. So
And Ernie.
And Ernie, obviously.
And
So
it's
the
a
fact
huge
that
help.
other people are doing it singly, and they're doing a bloody good job from what we've seen, and they become very experienced, very knowledgeable. Gives us, it just makes me feel relaxed with the fact that we're doing it together, if you see what I mean. So we're doing it as a team. So that's why I'm not nervous. Thank you very much for the question.
Thank you. A couple of people that asked similar questions. So Miranda, Janice and Darren,
Oh yeah.
and Jane and Richard, they all sort of asked along the lines of what made us decide on Narrowboat life, what made us
Yeah.
what inspired us to buy a narrowboat.
Yeah.
My answer to that is very simple: nothing. I had no intention, nothing inspired me to live on a narrowboat.
I did.
I had no intention. I didn't even think anything of a narrowboat except Rosie and Jim. So yeah, that's my answer. Short and sweet. Nothing. It's different now, however, sorry. It is different now. But if we're looking back on what inspired me, nothing. Different now. What inspires me now is I can't wait for the freedom.
Yeah.
Being close to nature.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot that inspires me now. But what inspired you?
What inspired me? I think if you go to our very, very first ever vlog, and I say that I wanted to retire, stroke semi-retire, at the age of 57, that sort of age. And we'd been discussing it for 18 months before that sort of period and deciding how it would
Not a
work
boat,
financially and all the rest of it. What would we do? Wasn't really that keen on necessarily retiring and just living in my house and looking out at the same old views every day out the patio doors sort of every morning, and everything being too routine, if you see what I mean. So definitely we were thinking about something a bit different. So I moved a friend of mine up to Northampton in my work van basically, and his brother turned up in the evening. His brother was there, and then in the evening we had a few beers and that and started having a good old chat and that, and I said to him, "Oh, where are you living now, Cliff?" And he said he's living on a narrowboat in a marina called White Mills in Northampton way. So anyway, we went to see him the next day, or the following week, wasn't it? I can't remember. Anyway, but we went to see him and sussed out how it all sort of worked. And we decided sort of there and then, why don't we do that? Get a narrowboat.
I think you decided the
Yeah,
night
no,
before
I'd
when you
already
were
said
drunk.
to you, I think
remember
I've
looking across
sussed,
the quad going,
yeah.
we'll wait for him to sober up and change his mind. So I didn't think anything of it. I just let him get on with it. Oh, that sounds a great idea. Yeah, we're going to do that, babe, aren't we? And I was like, yeah.
Oh, great idea, Cliff, we're going to get a boat.
Because I just thought, it's another drunken idea.
Love it. Woke up the next morning, right, come on in. Let's sort this boat thing out. And to my relief, the wife just looked at me, and rather than just sort of going, "What on earth are you talking about? That's just beer talk." She didn't do that. She went, "Yeah, all right then. Let's look into it." And we did. And a week later, we put a deposit down on our boat.
Yeah, and then it was quite
And
a
then
while.
the rest, and that's
then
it.
the rest.
And really,
6 months we had to wait to get it. But
really, pardon the pun, but you came on board straight away. Really. You did though, didn't you? You came on board straight away. So, and obviously you need both of you to want to do it. Otherwise, it won't work, will it?
yeah, you both got to want to
You've
do
both
it.
got to be committed, or
Definitely.
be committed. But there you go.
So thank
Okay,
you for
thanks
those
very much for the
questions,
questions.
guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I got rid of a lot of things. It just felt so much better getting rid of it. It was a struggle when I first started, almost in tears actually, thinking, what am I doing? Ornaments in the house. I had ornaments everywhere. I love to do interior design and really make a room by adding your curtains, your cushions. The amount of cushions that I had in the loft. Oh, let's not even talk about that. Narrow down the clothes. That was a difficult process. But once I started doing it, it took me months. In my mind, this was how I thought. I love that outfit. That looks really good on the beach in Egypt. It's not going to work on a boat in UK. Am I going to really bend down to do a lock wearing something like that? No, I'm not. I got rid of it. I had to really think logically about what fits in now with boatless. And that was hard. But once I started doing it, it became easier to do. And I've had so many people speak to me, either online or when we were at Quick, a couple of people spoke to me about it. And the ladies, it's not for me, I'm not that sort of person. That's exactly what I thought. And my friends thought, and my family thought. I'm really not a boaty person. Because they had this image of me wearing different clothes every day, matching high heels, all this. But actually, when you start doing it and when I start being on the boat, I realised that it's actually more me than I thought it ever was. And in actual fact now, even though it was Paul's initial idea to do the boat, I think it's more me now egging him onto it. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And I think condensing down everything I owned really helped with that. You don't need a lot of things. When we pack to go on holiday, we pack one suitcase. And that, we have a great time. Do we ever get on holiday and go, God, I wish I'd bought that ornament from the lounge? Of course you don't. So I know this isn't a holiday, but that's how I've looked upon it. I don't need necessarily all of my things. I just need what I need to keep warm, sensible footwear, memories I take with me here, but I've also got ornaments that offer the memories that I've brought with me. It's a great feeling when you do it. And the more I was doing, the more boaty in here I was becoming. As corny as that sounds. We don't know.
Come out of the marina.
Turn right.
Turn right. That is it.
So we've got.
That's where the plan ends.
We are waiting to see what winter stoppages they're going to be, which we believe that.
We need to say that.
We believe that's released in August, because really we need to have thought now where we want to be heading for winter.
Definitely.
But we think we'll probably stay along the Grand Union this time round, maybe nearer home for the first.
Yeah. We're going to be heading towards London, basically.
Not the Thames.
No intention of actually sort of getting into London, but we'll be heading south. We're going to head south.
Head south,
yeah.
and then spinny
and then
round.
see where we go, really.
And probably go back up past Wilton again, sort of winter time, and again depends on the stoppages.
We don't know.
But that's short term. But if you were asking TF57 long term is to do all of it. All of it that we can. There's one network that we can't.
Yeah.
We can't. One canal.
Yeah.
I believe that we can't because we're too long. But our intention is to do all of it, but take our time to do it. We don't want to rush around. If we like a mooring, we'll stay in it for the maximum length that we're allowed to.
Whatever, yeah. I mean, it's all very much make it up as you go along. It really is. It's literally is like that. I mean, we have seen vlogs before where people said genuinely they've got to a junction and they have flipped a coin. And I suppose we might end up doing something like that on some occasions. We're not sure because we have no plans. And part of this idea that we're doing is quite nice that you don't have any plans. You live your whole life with planned dates you have to keep to and all this sort of malarkey. So it's all about perhaps don't really want to be doing that, you know. So yeah, but thanks very much for your question again.
Thank you.
It's a reflection really on the last sort of 6 months or so. Nearly a year, I suppose, since we put the deposit down. How much my life's changed. How much our lives have changed. And I've got to say, what a good move.
I know we're not out on the cut yet. We've experienced the temperatures like -8, etc. And today was absolutely scorching. Our first real hot day on the boat. I just think we've so done the right thing with what we're doing. Change of lifestyle. It's been so educational. It's opened our eyes up into so many different sort of things and things we could possibly end up doing. Obviously you got all the travelling, that side of things, and we're getting on really well on the boat. You know, we're a married couple. Of course we do have the odd tiff every now and then, but we have that at home anyway. You know, but they're over in, like, they're done and dusted. I'll call her this, she'll call me that, you know, and within half hour it's done and dusted. You know, it's very rare we get anything that sort of drags on into the next day or anything like that. But then again, that's married life, whatever you're doing. This is a very stressful thing we're doing at the moment. Renovating a boat. No experience of doing that before. We've got renovation history, obviously, between us. But, you know, we're getting through it quite well, I think. You know, Ernie's coming a long way as well. I was worried about him. Liz was worried about him. But, to be fair, he's just turned 1 and I think he's done really well. He seems to have turned a big corner in the last sort of, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks or something like that. He seems to have calmed down with people. He's fun to be around. You just want him in your life, you know. And I think on the journey we're going on the boat, up and down, north, south, west, east, whatever we do, we don't know what we're doing yet, which is all part of what's nice about it. We want him on the journey, our little Ernie. And yeah, so it's just such a good move what we've done. It's not that easy for everyone to do. It hasn't been easy for us to do. Financially it stretches you. You end up spending more money than you think you're going to spend, without a doubt. If we did it from the start and someone said it's going to cost you X amount to renovate that boat, I would have had to seriously sit down and go, oh, I don't know, is it worth it? The answer now is, because we're not far off the serious spend side of things. In reality, after we've renovated the bathroom, we still have to paint the boat on the outside, which I'm really looking forward to, and so is Liz, obviously. But because we've done it over a period of time, and it's been a little bit of money here, bit of money there, suddenly there's a big bit of money there, I think it's made it easier. I don't know what the value of the boat is now. I do sometimes wonder, because I know how much I've spent on it, and obviously that's a common sense sort of thing that anyone would think. But in reality, it's going to be our floating home. So if I've spent £10,000 or something like that over what we sell it for eventually, or what it's worth now, then so be it. And that's how I feel about it. But the actual lifestyle, the people down at Wilton Marina have been brilliant. Made some good friends down there, I'd like to think. Whether they think that as well, I'm not so sure. You'd have to ask them. But everyone seems really pleasant and that, and sort of make you welcome. It's just it's a life-changing thing we've done. Massive. Scary, yes. I'm well happy with it. Liz is well happy with it. Ernie's quite happy wherever he is, but I think he's happy down the boat. I just think at the end of the day, we got to a certain point in our life and we went, it's time to do something. Weren't sure what it was going to be, but I'm really pleased with
decision we made, and I think it's going to be a positive for our relationship. We're going to be close to each other all the time. Some people wouldn't find that easy to do. Some people need that escape to go away and work somewhere else, and they can't be around their wife all the time. Fair enough, I totally get that as well. But we're on a journey together with Ernie, and we will see where that takes us.
Thank you for all of your questions. We went on a bit too long in some of them, didn't we, Ernie? And we've run out of time. So there's going to be 2 parts to this. So if your question hasn't come up in this one, it will be answered next week.
Right.
Well, Ernie's waving already, so
Come
I
on
guess
in,
that's
Ernst.
me going.
Well, thanks very much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate it. Right, Ernie, ready? What do you say? Don't forget to subscribe. Press the like button.
Yeah, sort of.
And the bell.
And the bell.
What else have I got to say?
Comment.
Oh, don't forget to comment, more importantly, I suppose. See you next time, guys. Wait, look at the camera. Bye.
Bye, thanks for watching.